hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I won't always smoke like hookah, talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Kamlager-Dove.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you son. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you son. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me?
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. So hello, Andrea, Buckhorst DC, Perplex is in the virtual building, Skeletor fan, Leon is here, Nessie X, G from the land, Alice, Nessa G. All right, let's get into it. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you 504 Nola. All right, let's get ready to get into it. Desmond. Okay, shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. I see you, Cherokee Descended Dale. Now, with that all being said, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes before we get into it.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil. Okay, so let's get into it because we have a lot to cover. We have a lot to cover. With that all being said, first off, let's talk about the shooting at K-State University. Okay, so there was apparently an incident where two students got into a fight, and then one of their fathers decided to show up and shoot the other student. So let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm going to go to this news report. Here we go.
Well, we are learning more about the deadly shooting on Kentucky State University's campus. It happened around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, just outside a student residence hall.
Two KSU students were shot. One of them, 19-year-old Dejon Fox, died. The other student is in the ICU and was undergoing surgery today.
Police named this man, 48-year-old Jacob Bard of Evansville, Indiana, as the suspect. He was taken into custody just a few minutes after the shooting. Today, we learned Bard is the father of a KSU student, but we don't know why he was on campus.
Several vigils have been organized across Frankfort in the wake of this deadly shooting. We're also learning more from Frankfort police, and we're hearing from more KSU students.
WKYT's Alyssa Williams has been out on campus all day. She's joining us now live. Alyssa, how are those students doing? What are they saying to you?
Amber and Kelsey, those students are still in a state of shock following yesterday's shooting. And they say while they're happy to see more police here on campus since then, they want to be assured that something like this won't happen here again.
The campus is very quiet, like very quiet.
Throughout this quiet campus, students like Alexis Hayes are moving out of their dorms, still horrified over Tuesday's shooting.
I had woke up out of a nap to like people waking me up like, okay, they're shooting and stuff. So I had just went to go look out that window and I just seen that there were like 30 police cars and I was just kind of in shock. And I think everybody's kind of paranoid now.
Hayes says they were mainly notified via email from KSU about what was going on. And she says after another shooting the campus experienced in August, she thought things would have been on higher alert.
After this situation, I feel like this should be the last time this happens. So I think we need to have better security on campus because this isn't the first time something like this has happened. But the fact that somebody's life was taken out, we need to do better, especially the campus police.
At the press conference hosted at the Frankfort Police Department today, KSU's president says campus is a safe place for students and they're working to collaborate with the police department and the sheriff's office to get more law enforcement coverage moving forward. Live in Frankfort, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
Alyssa, thank you. We have also learned the ATF is supporting the investigation at KSU. A special agent told WKYT their focus will be on the firearm that was used and ballistic information.
Well, we've also been digging into Jacob Bard's criminal history today, so here's what we know about him so far. Besides these new charges out of Franklin County, all of the previous cases we found for him were out of Henderson County. That's near Evansville, Indiana, where police say he's from. Online court records show he was found guilty of theft in 1997 and marijuana possession in 1998. Bard was given conditional jail sentences for both of those cases. Then in February 2007, Bard was charged in 3 more cases. He was found guilty of making threats, disorderly conduct, and assault. The assault charge was amended down from a felony to a misdemeanor. Bard got conditional 1-year sentences for the threats and the assault and a conditional 90-day sentence for the third charge. Bard will be in court tomorrow morning to be arraigned. Right now, he's being held in the Franklin County Regional Jail without bond. We did reach out to him to see if he'd like to talk to us, give us an interview from jail, but he declined.
Although
Private funds, CFONY.
Okay, so that's very heartbreaking. And condolences and prayers to the family of the victim who lost his life and prayers for a speedy recovery for the other. But let's go to what the family had to say about this because they want answers.
He was so
19-year-old Dejon Darrell Fox Jr., a sophomore at Kentucky State University, who was shot and killed outside Whitney Young Hall Tuesday afternoon.
Get me in the worst mood. He just gonna keep playing and keep playing. It's not fair. It's not fair to take my brother's baby.
Police arrested 48-year-old Jacob Lee Bard and charged him with murder and assault. According to an arrest citation, Bard pulled out a gun during an altercation on the KSU campus and shot Fox and one other student. Police have not yet released the exact details on what happened, but both Fox's family and students on campus have said it started as a fight between Bard's son and the 2 victims.
If you were picking up your son, then that's what you should have been doing. If there was a fight, you should have just left them. Or being a don't say, hey, okay, enough is enough.
This is never gonna be the same. Never. The school owes us an explanation. Nobody is saying anything. They owe an explanation of what is going on and what happened.
The family says they haven't been allowed to see his body, and they wish the school would have protected him.
They're encouraged no weapons. They're encouraged absolutely no firearms. How is that okay for him? How is that okay? They did not protect my nephew. They did not make sure he was safe. They did not make sure that he was protected at all.
Fox's mom wants people to know how much he loved school. He was excited to return to KSU from break. Now, instead of celebrating the holidays, his family is forced to plan his funeral.
I hope this is a lesson for a lot of people. It's like, keep the guns down. Let's talk about it. It's a senseless act. Where are we going to get with it? Besides more heartache.
Kaylee Randall, LEX.
Well, I sure hate it for them, but at the end of the day, I mean, what could the school have done? They have campus police. I'm sure they have safety measures set in place, like most college campuses do, but sometimes things just happen. So there was a fight, clearly, with 3 people involved, according to the report. One of the students was obviously the man who is the killer, or the suspected killer, was his son. I don't know why he was at campus if he was already there. His son called him there after the altercation or whatever, but he had no business getting into it unless he was going to try to de-escalate it. Okay, whose parent does that? So you're going to come up there and add fuel to the fire and start shooting? Okay, because your son got into a fight. This is all crazy. Prayers for the people who were involved. He's going to get exactly what he deserves, clearly. Okay, I mean, this should not be going on a college campus, but like I said, it's only so much the campus can do. But if you all thought that was nefarious, wait till you hear this. So this 15-year-old, and this just in, okay, this happened, this was reported yesterday. This 15-year-old boy is accused of killing his ex-girlfriend's mother, her 9-year-old brother, and 13-year-old sister. And let me remind you, this is a 15-year-old, okay? 15 years old. Who is raising these demons and devils? I have a whole lot of questions. Okay, so let's go to the report. Lights up, everyone, please. Like and share it. Thank you in advance.
We're live in the studio with the latest on the suspect and those people who were killed. Lauren, what do you know?
Jacob, at this time, we don't know much about those victims, unfortunately, but what I can tell you is that the suspect is a juvenile and that he did try to leave the scene for a little while there. Police found him shortly after, I believe that was about 30 minutes after those murders took place, along Andrews Highway. And he is in police custody. He was being interviewed last night when I spoke to Chief Kirky.
Now, Lauren, there's a lot of rumors going on about social media about who the suspect was, who these 3 people killed were. What did the chief tell you about that?
Well, again, we don't know much about those victims, unfortunately, but that suspect, again, a juvenile. So one of those rumors that we saw online was that it was a father, killed all 3 of his children. Obviously, that is not true. It was a juvenile who was the actor in this situation. As far as some of those other social media rumors, one thing that people were concerned about was that it was an active shooter situation. This was a targeted attack on these individuals. Chief Kirky said no other individuals in that apartment complex were ever in any kind of harm's way.
And he did say also that the suspect knew the people that were killed.
Yes, he did say that. Again, targeted attack. He knew them, was going after them for a reason. What that reason is, at this point, we do not know.
We did get a little update from police today. They said they're going to tell us more at 2:30 this afternoon.
Yes, we're going to have another interview with Chief Kirky at 2:30 this afternoon. I will be there. We will have more details tonight at First Alert 7 News at 4, 4:30, 5, 6, 10. And of course, on social media, we've been your first alert.
She's talking about they've been first to let us know about the story last night and today. First of all, you didn't let us know a damn thing. Okay, you haven't said anything. You've given us no names. Okay, you haven't told us their motive. You've given us nothing. All right, basically what the police gave them, I would imagine, nothing. Okay, so now with that all being said, here's another report. It says, a cowardly act. Teen charged in killing of Odessa mother and 2 kids. This is the first thing I saw when I got on X this morning. Okay, here we go. Let's see if they give us any more details.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us on News West 9 at 5. We continue our coverage on that triple homicide in North Odessa. A 15-year-old killed his ex-girlfriend's mother, 9-year-old brother, and 13-year-old sister. We have News West 9's Sydney Jolivet. She was there at the press conference that Odessa police held today. Sydney, what else are police saying about this investigation?
Jolena, we're live at 87th Street Apartments in Odessa, where just feet where we're standing, investigators are calling this a targeted act of violence. Earlier today, we were able to speak with Odessa Police Chief Michael Gerke, and he was able to shine a light on a few details. You're also getting your first look at the victims in this case, 39-year-old Jessica Rodriguez and 2 young siblings aged 9 and 13. The 15-year-old suspect who allegedly shot and killed his ex-girlfriend's mother and siblings is charged with capital murder of multiple persons. He's believed to have left the apartment complex on foot and was detained about 40 minutes after the shooting, according to the chief. At 5:45 p.m., officers were dispatched to the scene. At 5:54, they arrived, and around 6:26 p.m., the suspect was located and placed into custody. And police also say they recovered a handgun they believe was used.
Wow. I think the community, I think OPD, everyone, our hearts and prayers go out to the families, the friends, anyone connected with the tragedy last night. It's just such a tragic and cowardly act of violence that happened. It's the kind of thing that really marks the community, and particularly in this holiday season. It's a hurtful, horrible thing.
The teen's former girlfriend was not physically injured, but police emphasize she is not okay, given what has happened to her family. The chief says they're working to confirm the suspect acted alone, tracing the firearm's path and determining whether anyone may have helped him before or after the shooting. And at this point, authorities say if anyone provided him with the gun or had anything to do, if they knew what the plan was, they could face charges. And Chief Gerke went on to say it's up to the prosecutors if the suspect will be tried as an adult, and if he is, then will his name be released. Reporting in Odessa, Sydney Jolivet, News West 9.
Talk to me. LL Cool Bay, what we got?
Okay, that is very egregious, and I want you all to pay attention because first off, yeah, of course he likely did this out of revenge and anger because he's no longer with his ex, and so he did this to hurt her. But what kind of demon kills the children? Okay, kill those poor kids as well. That is so sad. That is really heartbreaking to hear. We have demons walking amongst us, and that's just a fact. I've told you all that 1,000 times. But let's go to this video of this guy saying the same thing. He said there are evil, diabolical spirits walking around, looking just like us. And that's just a fact. Okay, cloaked in human flesh, but demons nonetheless. 15 years old, and you're out here committing a triple homicide? Make it make sense.
Something that's probably gonna grab a lot of people like I'm out of my mind, but I'm a deep thinker, man, and I know for a fact that everybody that walk around looking like me, looking like you, wearing this skin is not human. Everybody that we deal with in this world is not human beings. They're hybrid people walking around that are mixed with humans and some other kind of crazy ass species. But I'm telling you, everybody don't have feelings. Everybody don't care. There's some people who have such a dark side to them. If you think about even, let's just touch on a school shooter. Somebody who can walk into a school. I ain't talking about a kid who's gone to school, a kid who's been bullied. There have been people who walk right into schools and kill little kids and don't care anything about it. There are people who walk into churches and kill and shoot people, don't care anything about it. There are people who just do not feel. And if you pay attention to people, and if you pay attention to your own discernment and to your own energy, you'll realize that a lot of people that you just realize you don't like off rip are a lot of evil, demonic people. And it's not something that's wrong with you. It's just that you have this sixth sense that you can pick up demonic, evil people in your presence, and people might look at you and be like, well, why she don't hang around us, or why he don't hang around us? Because he or she knows that your ass is evil as hell and nobody wants to pick up your spirit. But it's a very evil, demonic world that we live in, and we think a lot of times that when we're dealing with people, especially when we're sleeping with people, that, oh, this is just a dude I'm sleeping with, or this is just a chick. No, you're sleeping with a demon. And y'all got to be careful, and all of us got to be careful, man, because they're walking around and they're looking just like us, but they're not the same inside. And what we're doing, once we're sleeping with these people, we're having babies. And we're having little demonic kids. It might sound funny, but you wonder why these kids, man, is acting so crazy these days. And this generation is not like our generation because there are demons being born. Stop sleeping around so much, and we got to stop dealing with so many people because demons are alive and they're walking around and they look just like us.
No lies detected. At the end of the day, none whatsoever. It is all so crazy, right? Anyway, let's continue. So, in other news, y'all's president, remember when I told you all that I felt like Trump has dementia and that Trump may, in my opinion, be taking Leqembi? And I told you all about that medicine. Once in the chat, if you all remember me telling you this about a week or so ago, and I showed you all the report on Leqembi, and I told you how they give it to you in an IV, okay, like an infusion, and it's likely injected through the hand, okay, or the forearm where they would usually put an IV, okay. Well, with that all being said, I want you all to pay attention because guess what? And I also talked about how it makes you tired, very tired and lethargic, and how Trump's been falling asleep, okay. With that all being said, well, now Sydney Kamlager-Dove has come out and said exactly the same thing. Let's go to her post. Okay. Let's go to her post, and here's what she had to say. She says the Alzheimer's drug Leqembi is administered through an infusion through the hand. Can cause swelling, bleeding, or flu. Okay, the brain requiring regular MRIs. And that's because it also can cause brain bleeds. Okay, I told you all that. And so they have to check on that by doing MRIs and tiredness. This is everything I already told you all. I just want y'all to pay attention because you heard it here first. Now, unlike the news reporter who said you heard it here first and didn't give us a darn detail, didn't give us any specifics or anything to go on. When I tell you heard it here first, you actually heard it here first and you got all the news and information that people start saying days later. Okay. Now, with that all being said, I find it interesting because I think that's absolutely what Trump is on. But another thing is Trump has started this disaster of a ballroom. Now he's trying to build on his legacy. And I want you all to pay attention because when Trump started with the ballroom, having it built, he was talking about naming it after himself. Okay, he wanted the Nobel Peace Prize so desperately. And when he couldn't get it, he got these people to give him a fake Peace Prize that they made all up. Okay, I just reported that to you days ago. Why is Trump concerned about all of these things? Because Trump is trying to, he's preparing his legacy. Okay, I'm pretty sure he knows that his legacy right now stands as him being the most nefarious, low-down, wanton supremacist president in the history of this country. If he doesn't know it, he should. Okay, all of the disastrous things that he set into place that are dragging this country and the people in it down. Okay, so he wants to fix all of that and trying to act like he's solving all these wars. He's just going on a campaign. You know, he says he stopped 8 wars. He's done all this, that, and the third. And then the Japanese people even gave him a crown. Okay, I find it interesting. But one part of his legacy that looks like it's failing thus far is that nefarious ballroom. Okay, this is what we have right now after all these months of work. Okay, he had the East Wing completely demolished. Okay, talking about a 90,000 square foot ballroom. Okay, but when he had the East Wing demolished, this fool had zero plans. Okay, he didn't have a big plan of how he was going to completely finish the project. And now the project is sadly at a standstill. Now, James McClary II, who was the person he contracted to build this nefarious ballroom, said that it wasn't going to work, that the building cannot be or cannot basically outshine the building that it's attached to. Okay. And then what did he do? What did Trump do when the man told him this? The man's like, listen, this is not going to work. Okay. It's just not going to work because he's trying to make it so extravagant and it's wanting to spend in the rears of $350 million. That's the cost that has now come to. Okay, with no approved design, mind you. No approved design. Okay. And so it seems like this is something that's physically not going to be realized. Okay. But anyway, like I said, when the man told him this wasn't it and this is not going to work, and you can't have this building or this ballroom looking more fabulous or being more expensive and extravagant than the building that it's attached to, well, guess what Trump did? Trump said, "You're fired." Okay. Got rid of him. Fired the man who tried to save him from disaster. Okay. And this is what people are looking at. This attached to the White House. Now I want y'all to think about it. Look how tacky and stupid that looks. What was Trump thinking? Well, clearly he wasn't. Because is he ever? This is nothing more than an eyesore. Wasted taxpayers' dollars. I know he said that he was gifted money for this, but I'm quite sure some of that money came from our pockets. Okay, I don't put anything past Trump. But this is just ridiculous. Okay, and quite frankly, if you look at it, this mess that he's made, it reminds me of what's likely going on inside his own mind. Okay, if I had to guess. But anyway, let's continue. Because now it has come out, and this is breaking news, that more Epstein files and pictures have been released from the Epstein estate. Okay, so let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Here we go. New Epstein info. New photos released from Epstein's estate showing Trump, Bannon, Bill Clinton, and other high-profile people. Now, here's a picture with some of these people's faces blacked out to hide who they are, clearly. Hold on, beloveds. Not CNN trying to get me to sign up. Hold on. Everybody wants you to sign up for this crap these days. All right, give me just a second because I don't have time for all that right now. Maybe I'll do it later. Okay, here we go. Okay, so they say House Democrats on the House Oversight Committee have released a small batch of 19 photos drawn from a much larger set of about 95,000 images provided by Epstein's estate. Now, these were published as part of a broader effort to push for full release of all files related to Epstein's estate and investigation. Okay, now, the photos include undated social media images showing President Donald Trump standing or posing at social gatherings with Epstein and unidentified women whose faces have been redacted. Former Bill Clinton in photos with Epstein and others, including Ghislaine Maxwell. Steve Bannon, a former Trump advisor, pictured with Epstein in a couple of snapshots. Other figures such as Bill Gates, Prince Andrews, Larry Summers, Alan Dershowitz, and Woody Allen also appear in the released images. Now, I'll tell you why this is interesting. I'll tell you why this is all very interesting. First of all, I'm not surprised Bill Gates was there. Okay, I figured that he had something to do with Epstein. I've always figured that. But Woody Allen, what do we know about Woody Allen? Don't we know that Woody Allen was accused by his ex-wife, Mia Farrow, of having an inappropriate relationship with their adopted daughter, whom he later married? Didn't he marry that young girl after grooming her? So there's another pervert. That's no surprise for me. Now, some photos also show objects from Epstein's collection, such as novelty items. For example, a bowl of Trump condoms and other personal items, but none of the published photos depict any illegal activity or criminal misconduct by the adults pictured in them. Well, I wouldn't think that we'd have pictures of them doing anything illegal. Okay, so they can miss me with it. At the end of the day, it's obvious what these people are doing hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, how long are they going to tiptoe around it? Now, the released images are undated and lack context or captions, so they do not by themselves prove any illegal acts. This is what they'll continue to say. Being in the same photo as Epstein does not mean those individuals are implicated in his crimes. Trump has denied involvement in Epstein's criminal operations and said he ended their association decades ago. Clinton has acknowledged sometimes flying on Epstein's plane, but denies knowledge of wrongdoing. That's what they're all going to say. All of these people are guilty as hell, and they know it. Every last one of these people who was hanging out with Epstein, flying on his flights, going to his island, all of these people are pedophiles and freaks, in my opinion. Okay? They can cut the crap. None of them have admitted to any wrongdoing. Who's going to admit to that? Who's going to admit to being that sort of sick freak? Nobody is. Okay? You literally have to catch them red-handed in the act or have them on video. Okay? And which there probably is video somewhere. They're just not going to let us ever find out about it. But let me continue. So goes on to say, that this release is separate from the Department of Justice files on the Epstein investigation, which by law are to be made public by December the 19th of 2025 and may contain much more detailed documents. So yes, photos have been released showing Trump, Clinton, and Steve Bannon in association with Epstein. All right, these newly published images represent only a small selected set of a much larger collection. And again, there's no evidence, they emphasize, of any wrongdoing. Please miss me with it. Okay, so this is as good as it's going to get. Like I told you all, this is as good as it's going to get. Joy said, exactly, Queen, they were committing crimes. Yes, they had to be doing something. First of all, guilty by association, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, why the hell would you be hanging out with somebody who's doing these things and been accused of these things? Okay, and you think they didn't know what was going on? Of course they knew. Every last one of them, as far as I'm concerned. And I've heard a few things about Bill and Hillary, by the way. Okay? As a matter of fact, I found a video this morning, some lady on TikTok, I forget her name, but she claims that she saw Hillary do some very strange things. I'm not going to play that on here, but I was darn sure listening, and I believe every word. Okay? So anyway, with that all being said, they go on to talk about, let me just look, because they say on CBS, Epstein files set to be released, but some want independent review. No matter what kind of review, we're not going to get to the bottom of it. Okay, that's obvious. I mean, they're stonewalling at every turn. Okay, that's exactly what they're doing.
To be released next week, but today some survivors and Democratic lawmakers are pushing for a new review to make sure that they haven't been tampered with.
CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarland joins us live once again now. And Scott, I spoke with an Epstein survivor a few weeks ago. She was hopeful for the release, but told me that she had doubts we'd get the full story. It sounds like that's the concern shared by a lot of people now calling for an independent review.
Yeah, the interview you did with Andy Farmer got a lot of people's attention, including here in Washington. There are a number of survivors and Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee who say they want some third-party review of these files before they become public, before they are searchable for anybody to read. You know, of course, you'll recall it was 2 local federal judges who in the past few weeks have allowed the unsealing of grand jury materials to be released. A federal judge in Florida did the same. But if and when these files become public, there is a concern there may be some tainted information, things have gone missing or been altered because they've gone through so many different hands behind closed doors over so many years. It's unclear to me, Christine and Jess, if they can get a third-party inspection or audit before next Friday's deadline, but the survivors sure want one.
Scott, what are your thoughts then? When could we actually see these records?
Oh, I wouldn't bet heavily on everything coming out by next Friday. I wouldn't even bet the lunch money on everything coming out by next Friday. Just logistically, it's difficult to release hundreds of thousands of pages of anything, and there have to be redactions to protect victims from any sensitive information being released. The Department of Justice could argue it's got to hold stuff back because there may be some ongoing investigations with ties to Epstein. And oh, by the way, there's concerns about chain of custody now. We may see some, may not see everything.
Scott, while we have you, back to the breaking news that we told our viewers earlier, another grand jury refusing to indict A.G. James. This case has already failed in Alexandria and Norfolk, Virginia. Could they try again somewhere else?
Sure could. There's a federal grand jury expected next week in Richmond, Virginia. All 3 of those cities are in the Eastern District of Virginia, where they're trying to charge this case. But this is not happening in a vacuum. No rejections from the grand juries, they're rare, but they're happening a lot now in Tish James matters. could bolster any argument that this is a vindictive political prosecution if the feds can convince one grand jury to say yes again.
The exact argument she's been making for sure. Scott McFarland, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Yeah, Scott, thank you for your time. Okay, now with that all being said, let's get into it because here's the thing. Princess Sophia of Sweden met with Jeffrey Epstein a few times, but denies any ties. Okay, according to the palace. Yeah, of course. Deny, deny, deny. Okay, newly surfaced emails show that Epstein invited the royal to his Caribbean island in 2005. Okay, so somebody wants us to think, or they want us to think that all of these rich and famous, powerful people, billionaires to boot, and royal family members from Sweden and the UK and other places, I'm sure, didn't have any knowledge of what the hell Epstein had going on, and none of them were involved in it. I think they all were involved in it. I think they all were traffickers. I think all of these people were traffickers. Do you all know how much money there is in trafficking? Okay, I don't think these people were just Epstein's customers. I think that some of these rich folk were absolutely involved in the trafficking and were gaining a lot of money from it. That's what I think. And we're never going to get to the bottom of this rabbit hole. Okay, but let's continue. I'm going to share my screen. Anybody notice how these people all seem to look?
Korea, so let's do it.
Great.
Welcome back to Fox and Friends. King Charles strips his brother Prince Andrew of all his royal titles and evicts him from the royal mansion, where he has lived for more than 20 years. Now, the move comes after continuing controversy over Andrew's prior links to Jeffrey Epstein. The rift also tearing through the royal family as Andrew's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, will reportedly move out of that mansion and, quote, forge an independent life, as sources suspect Kate Middleton and Queen Camilla had a hand in the decision. Here to react is royal commentator Hillary Fordwich. Hillary, so great to have you. Such a juicy subject. Let's talk about this eviction from the mansion and the stripping of his titles. How much of this was William versus Camilla versus Kate, and how much of it was about the fact that King Charles keeps getting heckled about it wherever he goes, about his brother?
Well, Rachel, yes, I would say, you said juicy subject, I would say ghastly subject. But with regard to who is behind this, actually, it was a combination, not versus, a combination of all of them. You're right about the King. King Charles was heckled at Lichfield Cathedral in England, which for him is obviously a dreadful experience. This was a member of the public asking how long did he know about Epstein, etc. But what was also a catalyst for this, Rachel, very importantly, King Charles is a man of deep faith. He went to Rome. He was there praying with the Pope. In 500 years since King Henry VIII, the Reformation, this was the first time in 500 years that the head of the Church of England, King Charles, had prayed with the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church. So this should have been global headline news across all the media. Who instead was on the front of all the pages? It was now Andrew, Prince Andrew. So that was absolutely dreadful for the royal family. That was one of the final straws. Also, confluence is that Prince William is heading down to Brazil for the 5th annual awards of the Earthshot Awards, and he does not want this controversy tainting that at all. He wanted it done with. So Prince William put his fist down. He wanted this done with. King Charles was mortified about not having his meeting with the Pope on the front pages. And Queen Camilla and Princess Catherine, they actually had their hand in the wording with regard to the compassion and the sensitivity around those who have been abused. So it was a combination of all of them.
Yeah, Camilla was a victim of sexual assault herself, so she's very sensitive about what happened in the Epstein case, in this case. But I agree. I think that they don't want any more heckling and they don't want any more distractions for all their global efforts and their image, of course. Here's the statement from Buckingham Palace. They said, "Their Majesties wish to make clear that their thoughts and utmost sympathies have been and will remain with the victims and survivors of any and all forms of abuse. So, of course, that is what people believe, that Kate Middleton and Camilla, that they had a hand in the statement with that. Let's talk about the removing of titles, because a lot of people are seeing this and going, is Meghan Markle next? What do you think? Does the removing of this title, for very good reasons, does that make it easier for them to take Meghan Markle's title away?
Well, yes, yes, and yes. What's really important, I think, about the removing of titles is I believe we're beginning to see the hand of the future King William. Why? Because unlike his father, who I think wants to go down in history as sort of, you know, Charles the forgiving, Charles the warm-hearted, Prince William has an iron fist, and he has very little tolerance for anything that taints the royal family. So I think, yes, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry should be shaking in their boots.
They better cash in quick before any of this happens.
Always hating on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, shaking in their boots. Like, get out of here. You think they're concerned about that? Okay, think they're concerned. And have you all seen their children? They have some beautiful children. That little girl, oh my goodness, she is just so cute. I haven't seen Archie yet. I mean, lately. I haven't seen him lately, but I saw a picture that Megan took of her daughter. She is so cute. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, they can hate all they want. Let's go to this clip right here where they say this woman exchanged over 100 emails with Epstein. But let me guess, she doesn't have anything to do with any of his shenanigans, I'm sure. Okay, please pay attention. The lies.
One of the most powerful people in the Epstein files is somebody you may not have heard of. Her name is Kathy Rumler, and she is one of the people who communicated with Jeffrey Epstein the most, according to emails released last month from Epstein's estate by House investigators. She's a former White House counsel to Barack Obama, and now top lawyer at one of the world's most powerful banks, Goldman Sachs. Records show that before she joined the bank, they exchanged more than 100 emails, and Epstein's schedule lists them having more than 50 planned meetings between 2014 and 2019. Long after he was a registered sex offender. Across the many messages, Rumler emerges as a confidant and friend to Epstein, and he turned to her for help for managing his public reputation after he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from a minor. In one 2019 message, for example, Epstein wrote that Rumler helped him craft a statement in response to a forthcoming Washington Post editorial that was calling on Congress to investigate him. He referred to it as the Rumler Proposal. The statement defended Epstein and denied that he ever received a sweetheart deal. This is what Kathy suggests we tell Washington Post, Epstein said. While Rumler told CNN that she did not represent Epstein and was not compensated by him, she did not directly answer whether she ever crafted PR statements for him or advise him on media strategy. Rumler said she had no knowledge of any new or ongoing unlawful activity by Epstein. In an email to Epstein in June 2018, Rumler dismissed a Daily Beast story about allegations against him, describing it as a, quote, novella of rehashed crap. Now, Rumler told CNN she was referring to the article, not the allegations against Epstein, and said, "I have deep sympathy for anyone victimized by Epstein, and as I have said many times, I regret ever knowing him." But at the time, Rumler's correspondence with Epstein often appeared to go beyond professional matters. They gossiped about current events, arranged celebrity lunches and dinners. Epstein even appears to have coordinated some of her personal beauty appointments. In her statement to CNN, Rumler referred to Epstein as a business referral source and said she knew him in a, quote, professional capacity when she worked in private practice. Rumler told CNN, "I did not travel with him, go out to dinner with him, or spend time with him one-on-one, except in a professional setting. As has been well established, Epstein's calendars and schedules often do not reflect reality." What's so interesting about Rumler is that unlike other Epstein associates like Larry Summers or Prince Andrew, who have paid a steep price for their association with Epstein, Rumler has managed to fly under the radar. She remains at Goldman Sachs, which so far has chosen to stand by her.
Okay, so I find that very interesting. Now, this lady, Catherine Rumler, known as Kathy to some, is a prominent American attorney and the current chief legal officer and general counsel for Goldman Sachs. She previously served as White House counsel for President Barack Obama from 2011 to 2014. Her association with Jeffrey Epstein has drawn significant media attention and scrutiny following the release of thousands of emails and documents related to the disgraced financier. Okay? Claiming professional, not personal, according to her. All right, saying that a Goldman Sachs spokesperson has stated that Rumbler had a professional relationship with Epstein that occurred when she was a partner at the firm Latham and Watkins before she joined the bank in 2020. She reportedly met with Epstein dozens of times between 2014 and 2019, including for career advice, legal questions, and personal matters like apartment hunting. Rumler has said that she regrets ever knowing Epstein. Well, I'm sure they all do now that he's been put on blast and their names are attached to it. Okay? The released documents show Rumler was once one of Epstein's most frequent non-family email correspondence. The emails span topics from politics that she called Donald Trump so gross and truly stupid, okay, to career advice that Epstein offered input when she was considered for U.S. Attorney General. Some emails and court privilege logs suggest Rumler's role may have extended to legal counsel regarding sexual assault claims or litigation strategy. In one instance, Epstein mentioned a Rumler proposal for a statement in response to negative press. Rumler has not publicly detailed whether she acted in a formal attorney capacity, and her firm has asserted attorney-client privilege over many of the messages. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. You hear that? Her firm has asserted attorney-client privilege over many of the messages, and that's so they won't be made public. Okay, what the hell were her and Jeffrey talking about? I have several questions. Okay, so anyway, honey, stuff keeps coming out, but unfortunately, it's not going to amount to anything because they're never going to just come out and tell us the whole truth. That's what they're not going to do. Okay, so likes up, everyone, please like and share. With that all being said, let's go to a few clips of what people are saying about Trump and his supposed dementia, and then we're going to talk about Shakur Sanders and Dillon and Gabriel. Can't wait till the game Sunday.
All seen it. We've all thought it. Tanks has dementia. There's no question about it. The rambling, the sundowner hour in the Oval Office where he talks about solving all of these wars and talking to Pete Hegseth, who would have been 21 at the time, the day before 9/11. Nonetheless, when Fox News starts trying to claim something, then the opposite is true. And here we have Jesse Waters saying that Kanks doesn't have dementia, which tells me 100% he has a dementia diagnosis. Play the clip.
Can't be a dictator with dementia. You can't suspend an election and then forget you suspended an election. Trump didn't need note cards to know who Hillary Clinton was. And the guy has the longest memory of anybody. He remembers every slight, every name, every statistic. The man is a lot of things. He does not have dementia.
100% he has dementia. He doesn't know what habeas corpus is. He thinks it's a person. He thinks Hannibal Lecter is a real person. This 1,000,000%, this confirms it. It has been leaked through somebody at the White House to their BFFs, their safe space over at Fox News. And so now they're going on an offensive because I bet his dementia off camera is even worse than what we're seeing. All right. I just have always said, biology's catching up with this guy. You got the McDonald's, 3 meals a day. The cankles are swollen, the bruises on the hand, the dementia. And if he didn't, as disgusting and unattractive as the orange makeup is, I think it actually makes him look better. I saw somebody post online the other day, like a Photoshop, what he looks like without makeup. It's pretty bad. So he had his annual checkup, and presidents get annual checkups at Walter Reed once a year. He had his annual checkup 5 months ago. And then Kara Lyon Levitt, which then immediately something's up because they put out this statement, which I found to be rather interesting. They put this out yesterday. On Friday morning, President Trump will visit Walter Reed Medical Center for a planned meeting and remarks with the troops. While there, President Trump will stop by for his routine yearly checkup. He will then return to the White House. President Trump is considering going to the Middle East shortly thereafter. White House press secretary, insufferable twat, Caroline Levitt. So, you guys, I just think, why is he going back? I think there's something wrong with him. I think him talking about trying to get into heaven, he's grifting off trying to get into heaven. He just brought up that he was trying to get into heaven a couple of days ago. And there's that, it was about a month ago. He's rambling on to, somebody at Fox News. And he said, they say we've all seen it. We've all thought it. Kanks has dementia. There's no question about it. The rambling, the sundowner.
Why does she call him Kanks? Because he has cankles? Is that what she's saying? I am so done. Okay? I am so done. But let's continue on to the next.
The bearer of bad news here, but we might be in some trouble. Things have been going pretty well politically for those of us who are opposed to Donald Trump and his MAGA fascism. He is underwater in the polls. Every poll shows he's doing horribly. He is underwater on every major issue. Republicans are losing badly in the generic congressional ballot. Every election that we've had recently, Democrats have vastly overperformed. They've won virtually every race. And even those that they didn't win, for example, in Tennessee, a deep red congressional district, it was a plus 22 Trump district in 2024. The Democratic candidate there got within 9 points of the MAGA Republican. So Democrats have been overperforming. And if things were to continue this way, things are shaping up for Republicans to get wiped out.
Exactly. And I hope they do. Okay? I'm here for it. Okay, just a couple more, then we're moving on, beloveds.
Check this out. A Democratic member of Congress has come out publicly and said she believes she has the answer as to what's wrong with Donald Trump's health, specifically focusing on the bruising on the back of his hand that he's now covering up with layers of bandages, or his very apparent, very clear mental decline that we see on a daily basis. I mean, he's having episodes where he's rambling or falling asleep all of the time. And I will preface this story by saying I'm not entirely sold on the theory that the Congresswoman proposes here. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say that confidently. But as I've told you on this show, I will always call balls and strikes. I will present the information, and you can let me know what you think. You can agree or disagree. Let me know in the comments. I love discourse, and I love hearing from you folks. But without further ado, let's get into this story. And of course, if you enjoy, make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe as well. So before we get into the actual article and her theory, I do want to provide some context on why this is coming up again. Caroline Leavitt, at a press briefing today, was asked, finally, we've been waiting for this. We've been talking about this on the show. Can you explain what's going on with the bandages on Donald Trump's hands? I don't know why it's taken this this long to get a question just asked to Caroline Leavitt about the matter, but this is what she said, and she's still running with the same BS excuse to explain Donald Trump's bruising. Watch.
Go ahead. Thank you. The president's been spotted out and about a number of times with bandages on his hands. Could you please explain what that is about? Secondly, he noted on Truth Social the other day that he had aced 3 cognitive tests. Could you please clarify when those tests took place?
I can do that at a later date. I obviously don't have that in front of me. The president has spoken about that quite extensively throughout the years. As for the bandages on the hand, we've also given you an explanation for that in the past. The president is literally constantly shaking hands. The Oval Office is like Grand Central Terminal. He is meeting with more people than any of you even know about on a daily basis. He's also on a daily aspirin regimen, which is something his physical examinations has said in the past as well, which can contribute to that bruising that you see.
So just to be clear, Caroline Leavitt's answer for Donald Trump experiencing serious bruising on this hand in particular is that he's just shaken so many hands. He's just out there, he's meeting way too many people, and that's why you see this serious bruising, and that's why they're now covering it up with not only makeup, but also bandages now. And I love how she dodged the question about the cognitive exams. Donald Trump just comes out and announces he's had 3 this year and won't provide the date. They're not giving you 3 cognitive exams if they don't think anything is, if they think everything's healthy with you.
Yeah, exactly. You're not getting 3 MRIs. Okay, and the year is just now coming to a close. He's had 3 already. This is crazy. One box says, Queen, good day. Super bad soul sister. I am still in training as I type. Thank you, beloved. Okay, good luck with your training. And thank you for your kind words and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, for them to say that this is coming from handshakes, girl, you couldn't have thought of a better excuse. Okay, you couldn't have thought of a better excuse. She could have at least said that he had to get an IV because they drew blood. They wanted to do some tests. Say anything. Something that at least makes sense. Talking about shaking hands. What are they doing? Squeezing the hell out of his hand until it's bruised, each person that comes along?
They thought that everything was healthy. There's no cognitive exams to be given, but Donald Trump has received 3 this year, kind of exposing himself. And I do want to highlight this as well from the Lincoln Project, saying getting a bruise from a handshake sounds pretty beta to me, which I would very much agree with. And then I also want to highlight this response from Dr. Jonathan Reiner, who has worked for presidents previously as a doctor, and he responded, he's obviously in this field, I believe that the president shakes a lot of hands, but handshaking is not a credible explanation for the chronic bruise on his hand. Are there bruises in other locations? This is coming from a doctor, and they certainly don't have those in the Trump administration. But let's get into this theory, shall we, from the Congresswoman on Donald Trump's health. A member of Congress has proposed a theory that Donald Trump is taking a $26,500 anti-Alzheimer's medication, intensifying pressure for answers on his health. Sydney Kamlager-Dove, a Democrat who represents... All right, folks, check this out.
Okay, I just want y'all to pay attention. Now, as I said, everybody's talking about that lady saying this. Okay, just the other day, I told y'all this a week ago at least. Please pay attention. Okay, now Dynamic Quality says, please invite the I've Had It ladies on your show. Okay, good idea, beloved. Okay, maybe I will. And thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate you. All right, Terry Hinton, thank you for your contribution to the channel. Says Queen of Receipts. I appreciate you, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, Rodney says he looks like a vampire. Maybe it's just me. Are you talking about the young guy who was just in the video? Or Trump? Now, here's another clip that says, Trump rushed to the hospital as his health gets worse seconds ago. Huh? Appears to doze off multiple times during cabinet meeting. Okay, I didn't hear anything about Trump getting rushed to the hospital. Let me go to this clip and see what they're talking about. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
He's struggling to stay awake as his cabinet members went around the table and touted his accomplishments. His eyelids got heavy. He does a slight head bob. Again, we've all been there. At one point, he even appears to be holding his head with his fingers. Now, the White House said that the president was listening attentively and running the meeting. My panel is back.
Again, like you said, we've all been there. And we actually are, one of our photographers caught Russ Vogt, the OMB director, doodling during the meeting. So it was a very long meeting. But I do think, I mean, there's a lot more observations of his tendencies now and a little bit and more scrutiny of especially how his day goes, what his activities are, how he appears in public, especially because that was such a vital point of attack from Republicans against Joe Biden. And the White House has been really trying to get the message out there to try to dispute that narrative. Obviously, they talk a lot about the New York Times article that touched on this. And they took a pretty kind of remarkable step earlier this week of releasing those Oval Office logs that really aren't traditionally released to kind of catalog what he precisely did. And
okay, I'm not going to play that whole video. Now, here they talk about impeachment of Donald Trump fails in the House. This came out or the person did this video yesterday. Listen, they're not doing enough to get rid of Trump.
Our efforts to impeach Donald Trump have failed in the House of Representatives. Articles of impeachment were filed by Al Green, a Texas congressman, 2 articles of impeachment. The first was regarding Donald Trump's threat to execute Democratic lawmakers. The second related to Donald Trump's abuse of the federal judiciary. A vote was just held in the House of Representatives on tabling these articles of impeachment. That vote succeeded. Senior Democratic leaders voted present on the issue. A number of Democrats voted no, not to table. Some voted yes, but ultimately it was not enough to get anywhere close to the majority needed to impeach President Donald Trump. But the effort by Al Green is one that should not just be thrown away. In fact, it was an important effort for many, because many did vote to move the process forward to impeach the President of the United States today. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support my work, subscribe by clicking my Substack link below. It's important to talk about Al Green's impeachment articles for Donald Trump, because they're not just going to go away just because of today's vote. So let's look at Al Green's. Let's just jump right in.
The purpose of this gentleman from Texas seek recognition.
To address the House for 1 minute to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, and still I rise to note that tonight I have called for the impeachment of Donald John Trump, President of the United States of America. He is an abuser of presidential power. He has called for the execution of members of the House of Representatives, of this very House. He has demeaned members of the judiciary. He has conducted himself in office such that persons are now threatening members of the judiciary, threatening members of the House of Representatives, threatening members of the Senate. Donald John Trump, by his conduct, merits impeachment, trial, and conviction in the Senate of the United States of America, and should never hold any office of public trust ever again. I yield back.
Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities towards the president.
Let's look at the articles of impeachment. The first article is abuse of presidential power by calling for the execution of members of Congress. It reads, in his conduct of the office of President of the United States, Donald John Trump, in violation of his constitutional oath to faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States and to the best of his ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional duty to take care that the laws be faithfully executed, has unfaithfully, dangerously, and unconstitutionally abused his official position by threatening Democratic lawmakers in Congress with execution. President Trump called for the execution of 6 Democratic lawmakers, all of whom are currently serving in the United States Senate or U.S. House of Representatives, and who previously served in the military or intelligence communities. The second, we have breaking news at this hour. Efforts to impeach Donald Trump have failed in the House of Representatives. Articles of impeachment were filed by Al Green, a Texas congressman, 2 articles of impeachment. The first,
Okay, Al Green is the one that usually files these articles of impeachment on Trump, from the sounds of it. So that was done on December the 11th, and the House of Representatives voted to table, i.e. dismiss the impeachment effort, okay, by a wide margin of 237 to 140, effectively killing the motion for now. Many Democrats voted present and joined Republicans in blocking the effort. Do y'all hear that? See, the Democrats aren't hitting on ish, okay? Because I told y'all the Democrats weren't doing a darn thing. Many Democrats voted present and joined Republicans in blocking the effort. All right? So what's really going on here? Trump had already been impeached twice before during his earlier presidency in 2019 and 2021, and both times he was acquitted by the Senate. This latest attempt in 2025 was driven by some Democratic members concerned about his conduct in office, but leadership in both parties resisted moving forward with the impeachment at this time. Okay, there's still political debate and pressure within the Democratic caucus about whether to pursue impeachment or focus on investigations first. Wow. Okay, so the Democrats are full of crap, okay, just so you all know. Full of crap. Now, with that all being said, let's continue. All right, let's continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Oh, hold on, one more thing. Let's talk about this Obamacare subsidies are supposed to end in just a few days. Now, listen to how Trump just keeps trying to blame everything on Obama as per usual. Look at him. Looks like he's dozing off right there.
Americans are expected to see their healthcare insurance premiums start to rise by the beginning of next year.
You're talking about because Obamacare is so bad?
Well, sure, because the Obamacare subsidies are expiring. Are you going to do
because
anything?
Obamacare is so bad.
What is the Republican plan? Are you going to let that happen on your watch?
What I'm going to do is, if the Democrats go along with it, which they don't want to because they want to make the insurance companies very rich, okay? I want the money to be paid to the people to go out and buy their own health care. Obamacare is a setup to make insurance companies rich. And I want to pay the people, and I want the people to go out and buy their own health care. Go ahead.
That Republican plan that you just talked about when it comes to health care, when do you expect Republicans to put
Oh,
that
we're
on?
looking at it very strongly, and we're also going to the Democrats and asking them to do it. The Democrats want to make the insurance companies rich. They're all paid off by the insurance companies. A tremendous amount of the insurance company funding goes to Democrats. Why don't you ask that question of the Democrats? Because I would love to do it. I'd love all of the money to go to the people.
22 million Americans.
She's asking him because he's the president with his silly self. Just keeps on passing the buck as per usual. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, Dynamic Quality says, what is actually going to replace the ACA? Trump has no idea, beloved. Okay, I couldn't tell you, he couldn't tell you, they just couldn't tell us. Because you see, when Trump was interviewed months ago, a reporter asked him what they were going to do to replace it, and Trump had in his hands blank pages, acting like he had an insurance plan. Okay, like he had something to replace it, but it was all just blank pages, nothing written on it at all whatsoever. So just lying. Okay, but this is y'all's president. Anywho, let's continue because now they're talking about Dillon Gabriel's girlfriend and Dillon Gabriel. All right, they're dragging the both of them. So let's get into it because I love to hear it.
You know we live in a different time when your girl is tweeting that the team, everybody wants you. The team, everybody wants you to play. But you got booed as soon as you hit the field. You ain't never done nothing wrong to nobody in Cleveland. They booed as soon as you hit the field, pimping. Everybody know he wanted to play. Everybody know. Even the coach. The coach told him. The coach wants you to play. And Jerry Judy. That's it. Nobody wants Dillon Gabriel on the. We seen him.
Let me tell you all a little secret about Jerry Judy, okay, and his bromance with Dillon Gabriel. Okay, because you know they hang out and all that, and they're friendly, and that's one reason he wanted Dillon Gabriel out there instead of Shakur, and got mad and hollered at Shakur and all of that. But let me tell you why he really was upset with Shakur. Now, this is my opinion. Jerry Judy feels more comfortable. I believe that he felt more comfortable with Dillon Gabriel out there on the field because Dillon Gabriel could hide his lack of ability. And by his lack of ability, I mean Jerry Judy. Okay, when Dillon Gabriel's out there, you know, that can kind of cover up what Jerry Judy is lacking in. But because Shakur is so good, when he comes out there, you're going to see when Judy is lacking. That's what that is, in my opinion, and that's why he got so mad. Because quite frankly, that day that the ball went past him, Judy could have been scratching and scraping. He could have been diving for that ball. He could have been trying to keep running faster. It looked like he slowed in his tracks. Didn't even reach for the ball. Yeah, it went past him, but still. Okay, I know some people in high school that play football that would have dove on that ball. He didn't do anything, okay? Please miss me with it, Jerry Judy. And I don't think Shakur should trust him. They might have made amends for now. Y'all have to play together, but I'd still keep my eye on him, okay? Because once you pull a move like that, I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Let's continue.
We seen him throw ducks. We seen him. Matter of fact, we seen him before. Tua plays in Miami. We don't need Tua Dillons. We got one. talking about everybody no, and everybody wanting to play. Why they cheering for Shador? Why they throwing up this? Huh? Why they doing the Selly? Shador needs to play. Okay.
All right, next clip.
You mean to tell me the whole time the Cleveland Browns was worried about Shador talking too much and bringing a circus to the team when really they should have been worrying about Dillon. See, this is why I respect Shador. He's going to show you who he is regardless. Doesn't matter where he's at, what he's doing, he's going to be himself 100% of the time. And I respect people like that. See, Dillon, and I have a good judgment of people. I might be wrong like 10% of the time, but the other 90% I'll be right. And you can tell Dillon's that type of guy that's gonna, I'm gonna be the nice guy in front of you and I'm gonna say all the right things, but behind closed doors, dude be talking mad shit. You can tell. Did we forget that little shade he threw at Shador at the beginning of the season?
You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete.
And you know he told his fiance that when he went home. If you've been married, you live with your woman, you know when you go home, you give your woman all the dirt of what's going on at work. You know how it goes. And I know he's pissed that he's not starting right now. I ain't no shade on that. Like, you're a competitor, you want to be the best. I ain't knocking that at all. What I don't respect is if you come out here acting like, you know, good old boy in front of everybody, but behind a closed door, that's not who you are. Show your true colors. Show who you really are. That's what I respect. And Dillon, you just need to tell your fiance to shut the hell up. Because we only know who you are because Dillon's your fiance. You're not famous. You're not the main character. You're not Sierra. You're not Taylor Swift. So stay in your place. Now, your fiance has to answer. I hope they drill him like they do Shador. You better give him a press conference and drill him like y'all do Shador. Because I want to see what he says. I want to see how he gets out of this one. So you mean to tell me the whole time the Cleveland...
Okay, no lies detected. No lies detected whatsoever.
Sitting here waiting for Dillon Gabriel's fiance's get ready with me from yesterday's game because I haven't seen it yet. I want to hear your thoughts about having to go to the game, sit in that cold, crappy weather, watch her fiance sit on the bench and not play, and then watch Shador Sanders go in there and throw 3 touchdown passes, have that unbelievable goal-to-go touchdown run. And the Browns, yeah, they didn't win, but I want to hear her thoughts about it because she better be just roasting the defense for not playing well. She better be roasting the coach for taking Shador Sanders out. I would love to hear her opinions on the game yesterday. But she's not going to post her thoughts because the only thoughts she has are pro Dillon Gabriel and anti Shador Sanders. Her mouth shut because she realized, oh shit, my boyfriend was fucking awful and Shador was the answer all along. So she's going to keep a little yap shut now. Let's go Browns.
He says she's going to keep her little yap shut now. Okay? And this man right here called Stefanski a white supremacist. And he's white himself.
Stefanski might be like a white supremacist or something. I don't know. Shador Sanders today is the second quarterback ever as a rookie to have 350 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rush touchdown in a game in the Super Bowl era. It's just him and Joe Burrow to do that. This man was 23 out of 42, 364 yards, which is a season high for any Browns quarterback, 3 touchdowns, and then was their leading rusher with 3 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. He drove them down all the way, brought them back from 14 points. And then to tie the game on the 2-point conversion, Stefanski takes the ball out of his fucking hands and does some stupid-ass trick play that I don't even know what it was supposed to be. It was terrible. He's done everything he can to sabotage this guy. It's only his 3rd week even getting reps in practice. He looks fantastic. Cam Ward was on the other side. He looked way better than Cam Ward. He's looked better today than Cam Ward has looked at any point in the season. Shador Sanders was the best quarterback in this draft class, and they waited till week 13 to fucking play him. There's not a reason why Dillon Gabriel should have gotten a single start over him. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, okay? And everybody knows that. And listen here, Dillon Gabriel, his girlfriend said the quiet part out loud. At the end of the day, Dillon may have told her to say that stuff, okay? Who knows? But he's been throwing low-key shade at Shakur all season himself. Here is him again throwing shade at Shakur, talking about if you wait for perfect timing. Okay, so many shots. It's obvious this dude's jealous because of his own lackluster talent and those short-ass passes that he throws. Okay, you're not going to win a game with throwing short passes, dude. It's not going to happen. All right? Let me get my overlay on this.
Wait for the perfect time. You know, you're going to wait a whole lifetime. So for me, I've always been ready.
Shut up, bitch! Judkins the back. Sanders to the air. Gets a block. Hit as he throws. Caught wide open. Bannon touchdown.
Sanders hesitates. And he gets away. Sanders will keep. And to the end zone. Shakur Sanders runs his way in for 6. Sanders fires for the end zone. Leaping up Sanders will dump it off to Judkins. He's got blockers in front. Quick shot, Judkins. And Judkins down the sideline with blazing speed. Oh, just short.
Oh, yeah. You wait for the perfect time.
He's sitting there talking about you wait for the perfect time and you'll be waiting a lifetime. Your ass is going to be waiting a lifetime to get back on that field, okay? You sore loser. All right? He's just not that good. Okay? He's only 5'10". He should have never been a starting quarterback anyway. And that's just facts. Too damn short, you little leprechaun. All right? Quarterback should be at least 6 feet, period.
If your boyfriend is the backup quarterback and the team loses the game, you can absolutely not caption a video, the Browns lose again, crying, laughing emoji. You just can't do that.
No,
that's objectively wrong.
She said, "What's new?" She said, "What's new?"
No, the caption after the game was literally Browns lose again, crying, laughing emoji, like it's my grandma texting me.
He better go get that corrected.
How many games did Dillon? He's gonna
bro.
Whoa.
Because Dillon, real talk, bro. Fair or unfair?
Give me that fucking thing.
Everyone already doesn't like you. This is the worst thing that
He got booed. You said what?
You
It was a one-star. Where?
He got booed. This is awful for your
What
PR.
they say fuck me for?
It's the worst thing for your PR.
I just got here.
You better go get her and check. If you want your career in this league to extend, you can't start burning bridges already.
That's right. He said she can't be burning bridges already. She needs to sit down somewhere and have a seat. Okay. Now here's an animation someone did about her.
Well, well. Remember when everyone swore Shakur's family would be the distraction? Funny, because Dillon Gabriel's fiancée, Zoe, said, "Hold my ring light." She hopped online and posted, "Everyone in the building wants Dillon to play, but you wouldn't know that because you've never played in the NFL or been a couch." A couch? No. None of us have been a couch girl, but let's break this down. What building is she talking about? Because it sure ain't the one where Browns players went feral celebrating after Shakur threw one pass. And it definitely ain't Cleveland Stadium, where your man stepped in for one snap, almost threw a pick, and got booed like he was an Eagles player. And what is it that the building wants your 5'2", elf-sized fiancé to do? Not throw past 10 yards? Take out the best player on offense like he nearly did with his one snap? This is way messier than fans talking trash. This is Dillon pillow talk propaganda. And let's be honest, if Shiloh ever said everyone in the building wants Shakur to play, the entire Sanders family would be banned from the games. Meanwhile, Shakur, the one you're sneak dissing, literally told Browns fans not to boo Dillon because it hurts his small-ass confidence and doesn't help the team. That's called leadership and what a QB1 looks like. So congrats, Zoe, on becoming Brittany Jr., whether you meant to or not.
Okay, I want you all to pay attention. That's absolutely what a leader does, okay? Shakur has never one time thrown shade at Dillon's little leprechaun behind or Stefunky. In fact, he's defended them. That's what he's done. But Dillon, anytime he was given the opportunity, he straight threw shade. That's because he's a loser and he's lackluster. And people who are not happy with themselves and suffer from insecurities and low self-esteem, that's what they do. They hate. Just like the racist demons and devils who want to sit there and act like Shakur is not all of that, and he is, who want to act like, oh, he's too arrogant. So what? He can back it up. And then also he's humble at the same time. So there's that, okay? But the bottom line is no matter what Shakur does, there's always going to be the naysayers because they're just mad and angry and jealous as hell. And they'll stay that way. Okay. Now, for those of us who are old school, who were around when Dillon was burning up the field, we already know that we love to see it because Shakur is so much like his father, even though, of course, they play different positions. But he's just he's a showstopper, just like his dad. All right. And we love to see it. It's like watching Dillon all over again, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. So, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. A few more clips. Here we go.
Five best throws from week 14. And as an honorable mention, I got Cam Ward. He's facing a blitz here, and with the defender right in his face, he decides to just throw this pass off his back foot, and it hits his receiver right in his hands, but unfortunately, his receiver drops it. And at number 5, I got Shakur Sanders. This is what happens when you give Shakur time. He finds Tillman on this deep dig route and throws a perfect ball in between 3 Titans for a 23-yard gain. And at number 4, I got QB1 for the Cleveland Browns, Shakur Sanders. With the game on the line, he throws his perfect lob pass to Harold Fannin in the back of the end zone for 6. But unfortunately, his coach decided to take him off the field on the very next play for the game-tying 2-point conversion. And number 3, I got the 5th round, should have been 1st round pick out of Colorado, Shakur Sanders. He throws his perfect touch pass in the corner of the end zone to Njoku for a touchdown. And it's such a great throw because he throws it in a spot where only Njoku can catch it. And at number 2, I got finally not QB2, Shakur Sanders. Even while getting hit by 2 Titans defensive linemen, he layers his ball perfectly to Fannin right in the bucket for a 40-yard completion. And at number 1, I got the most accurate quarterback coming out of college last year, Shakur Sanders. Just look at him thread this needle between all these Titans defenders for a 60-yard touchdown. And this time, Jerry Jeudy actually caught the ball and didn't fumble it. Let's look at the top 5 best throws from week 14. And as an honorable mention, I got Cam.
Now, do you all notice how accurate Shakur is with his throwing? Very accurate, okay? You got 3 people huddled together reaching for the ball, and you get it to the exact person you need to. You throw it so that only that person can grab that ball, okay? I want y'all to pay attention. Dillon Gabriel could never, all right? He could never. All right, and here's a clip of Dillon talking to his girlfriend after she ran her mouth and pillow talked or shared the pillow talking.
With them, I gotta live here and you don't. Don't be getting. If I get into it with them, I gotta live here and you don't. Don't be getting it, you gonna get me in trouble. If I get into it with them, I gotta live here and you don't. Don't be getting it, you gonna.
Okay. She should have kept her mouth shut. Now, listen, I like this guy's take on this because you all do know that Shakur did not purchase his home in Cleveland. He's only renting. And we're going to go to his home because Dillon showed up there yesterday to finally come for a visit. So we'll show that next. But hold on. Let's go to this next clip. That was funny, right?
Sanders is renting instead of buying just because something huge for his future.
Chris, Shakur admitted yesterday he's renting. It's. Do you understand? Shakur is on a job interview. Am I correct? He might even be staying at Hilton.
You are correct.
So here he is yesterday on his conversation with Cam Ward.
Well, this is my life here, So we're on 2 different spectrums right now. I gotta focus on
playing my best and being the best player I can for the team. And obviously the situations are different. So and I know he puts his all into these games and these Final Four games, but it's just a little bit different because you don't know what could happen, you know? So I just go here, enjoy my day, work hard, do everything I can. And if I'm here, I'm here. I'm not. Like, it's nothing in my control, so I try to control what I can control. That's going out there, making the right reads, going out there, doing the right things, being the person I am. And things will fall how they're supposed to.
If Shedeur Sanders is renting instead of buying, this could something huge for his future.
Chris, Shakur admitted yesterday he's renting.
All right, Shedeur said, nah, I'm not ready to purchase a home here because this is too iffy. I don't know how this is going to go. It could go one way or it could go another at the end of the day. He's doing the right thing. Now let's go to Dillon at Shedeur's house. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. And just notice how Shakur and Dillon have just almost the exact same mannerisms.
Dang. A little Dyson fan got about 1,000 over there.
You know, I probably got about 6 of them.
Yeah, 6 Dysons.
6 to 8 of them.
Dang, I see
it, boy. That's new. I ordered that.
I had that 4 or 5, no, about 10 years ago.
I know. I'm saying I ordered it. That is yours.
I know, but it's cold. Them things nice musically.
You know, these fresh roses.
Yeah, I see. I see a lot of stuff that's fresh.
You get fresh roses.
I see a lot of stuff that's fresh right now. Dang, cold. Dang, that's my favorite.
You all listen to how Dillon keeps saying dang, like he's not used to seeing nothing fancy. Isn't that something when you get your first place and your parents come over to visit? They be acting like they're all surprised, can't believe it.
Happy the whole time.
That's Shiloh's favorite. That's Shiloh's.
Big Greg with it. That's what these burglars came through. Dang. Gone. Man, man.
Imagine coming home from a game and everything just on the floor. I just went in the living room, bro. It is what it is, bro.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
not
you
even
got.
just deal with that.
Yeah.
And you just lost.
And you just lost. I don't know what's more. The loss of the loss. Dang. Yeah. Just like his daddy go keep a scale in here. Like it, dog.
You know, we got the initials on our towels in here, man.
I don't know where you got that from. You got the visual? Dang.
Oh, you know what?
Lord.
You know what, actually?
A lot of similarities around here, dog. A lot of similarities.
Hey, stay right there. You know I want you a fresh morning. I want you to have a little fresh morning, man.
A lot of similarities around here.
You know we got the eucalyptus towels for your face in the morning.
Dang, you dripping. I see you dripping all the way up. Dang. Eucalyptus.
See footprint. Rinse it off a little bit.
See footprints like over there.
That was me. What I was actually Florida with though.
Wipe your face. Dang, I gotta wipe my face being in his house.
You're fresh.
Yeah. Greg with it, you know what I'm saying? It's like a black and gold thing right here. I see. Nickel, okay, he doing his homework. I see it.
Yeah, that's my heater.
I see. I like the crib though, dog. So cheap in Colorado. Dang. He look old right now.
Somebody painted that picture and sent it.
He look like Abraham Lincoln, bro. I like that, dog. Look cool. A lot of similarities right here. We got enough that you don't have to repeat. Okay.
Dillon is something else. Okay, the thing is, anybody that doesn't like this family, you just got to be a hater. Okay? You just got to be a hater. They're God-fearing. They love God. They're nice to people. They don't say anything negative or derogatory about people, even those who say it to them. Okay? They're very motivational, encouraging, and inspiring. They do a lot for their communities. At the end of the day, if you don't like the Sanders family, you're just a whole hater. Period. Okay. Now, Jeff ATL says, I think Shakur should be traded to the Falcons so the Falcons can go to the Super Bowl a third time and finally win when they do. Let me tell you something. That would be the dream for the Queen. Okay. If Shakur got drafted to the Atlanta Falcons, I would absolutely be here for that. I'd be at every game. All right. Every game. So that's absolutely a good idea. Let's put it in the air. Let's put it in the air because, okay, he doesn't need to be at Cleveland. They can miss him with it. All right. So anyway, with that all being said, that's the news for now, beloveds. I love you all to life. Jeff, thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. I hope you all enjoy your strong end, not the weekend, keeping you in a weakened state of mind. I hope you meet your goals and expectations for the day, short term and long term. And also, we will very likely be on the spiritual channel sometime this weekend, either tomorrow or Sunday. Okay. Maybe even both. All right. So stay tuned. I love you all to life. Not sure if I'll be back today because I have some things to work on. I just might. But if not, I will definitely see you all tomorrow. Okay. So until then, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Also, don't forget to like and share the video. Y'all know the shadow banning is getting so obnoxious at this point. Okay, but we must carry on, beloveds. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I love you all to life. Each one teach one. Okay, that's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, and never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free